Good morning, everyone. Here's a beautiful, magnificent view in this early morning at I want to say it's about 6 a.m. right now, maybe 6:05 or so, but 6 a.m. And everything is looking so beautiful here. The garden is coming alive. Flowers are blooming, and obviously my trellises are being covered up with the vines that I intended it to, and my vision for this garden is coming along very well, and I'm really happy and excited. And look at these giants. These are the gray stripe sunflowers, and these guys are way about half my height already, or maybe chest. Yeah, these guys are tall. Look at how huge this is. Look at that. These guys are huge, and it's only been a few weeks, so I can't wait to see how tall this guy is gonna be. I'm glad that I actually have it growing here where I can brace it up against here if needed, if necessary, because it is quite large, and if it gets kind of floppy or weak or whatever, I have this up here to really catch it and tie it up so that it'll have some kind of foundation if needed. But yes, I thought I would just show this to you guys, give you guys a little update on how much growth has been coming on in the garden, and it's just I don't know, I'm in awe of it. I love this garden. It's so peaceful in the morning, well, minus the birds twittering, but I guess that's part of nature, huh? But yeah, lots of life in the garden. Flowers are coming to life now finally. The snapdragons are blooming. It's really exciting to see. That's beautiful, huh? This is the pink one, the pink rackets. I have the red in the middle and the white at the end and the yellow over here on this side. But these guys are really looking beautiful coming along. I have other flowers blooming as well too, like my marigolds on the bottom here, my zinnias right there, my taller marigolds over there mixed in there. So you can see the splashes of color in my garden. That's just really, really exciting for me to see, because a lot of growth is going on. This giant mammoth dill that I put in a while back, and here it is. It's finally becoming dill-like. So my husband's gonna be really excited to see this. That or the monarchs are gonna get to him first, or it's the swallowtail. One of those guys. They probably get to it first before he does. This is supposed to be my cauliflower, but I don't think it's gonna be growing. It looks kind of sad. Look at that. Something's killing it. That's part of gardening. Anyhow, everything is coming mostly to life, and that really, really is exciting for me. A lot of my cool weather spring crops are bolting, which is what's happening here. Like here, these guys are flowering because it is actually too hot for them right now. Same thing with over here with my Asian greens and mustard greens, a little bit too hot as well too. So I'll probably have to get rid of them, harvest these guys out here, the bok choy's out, and the mustard greens out, so that I'll have extra space for some other crops to grow. And then I'll just save the space for a little bit later when it's a bit warmer, or cooler, so that I can plant in some seeds for the next growing season, which is this fall period. So probably at the end of July, I will probably start, or mid-July or end of July, I'll probably put some seeds down for these guys so that they can grow during the fall, because it should be better when it's a little bit warmer, or a little bit cooler and not so warm. But anyhow, everything is looking beautiful. I've been harvesting lots out of the strawberry beds, or buckets if you want to call it. So I'm quite happy with how everything's coming along in the garden right now. We do have a start of pests coming in, which is part of an organic garden. It's gonna be problematic because, you know, I don't have a whole huge defense for garden pests and such, but gotta come in here and probably maybe later in the evening spray down with some neem oil and see if that'll chase away some of the cucumber beetles and my pests. What do they call again? Japanese beetles. Those guys are destructive. They will kill your garden. And I've learned that cucumber beetles are the ones that causes the melons, the cucumbers, and the winter squashes, or any squash, to wilt when they just die suddenly overnight with no reasoning, like you're watering it and everything. Yeah, I think that's what happened with one of my cucumbers, one of the growing previous years, that it was perfectly healthy one day and it flopped over just like dead. And I couldn't understand why or how, and I think that's what happened, was that it got some bacterial virus disease or whatever from the cucumber beetles. So I'm really trying to be vigilant. Like there, this is what it looks like. Try to catch it. It's in here. And how I've been dealing with them is that I've just been throwing them into this bucket of water. Right here. I have a few. I've probably caught like maybe, I want to say 6 of them so far this morning. I've been throwing them in here and letting them drown. I have to put some soap in there so it'll help break the tension in the water, so that it'll cause them to sink. But yeah, definitely need to find a way to deal with those guys, because those guys are abundant in my garden. Seriously, a lot of them are in here. I don't know what are the predators of those. Maybe I should bring those into the garden. I don't know. I want nature to take care of it, but you know what? I'm not really seeing any nature effects going on for those guys, because they just keep coming in here. I have taken care of the what's it called? Cucumber. The Japanese beetle. I'm taking care of those guys by putting up that neon green bag back there. That's that's to attract them, and they can collect in the bag at the bottom of the bag, and then that's where I'm going to just keep them there for a couple of days, empty them out into a trash bag of some sort, and toss them out. Do not want those guys in the garden. Those guys are also very, very destructive. They will shred your gardens to pieces. So yeah, here's the eggplants and the peppers on this side, and the eggplants have slowly started setting little fruits now, which I'm really excited to see. I just showed some photos of the fruits that I had on yesterday or the day before. I forgot which day I put it up. But they are coming along, which is exciting for me. Lots of weeding needs to go, because we did get lots and lots of rain over these past couple of weeks. So today I have to actually be out here to water, because it's going to be very dry for the next week or so. So, excuse me. Thankful and blessed while enduring we got rain from Mother Nature, but I guess I gotta be out here, put up and stand in the garden for a few hours to just water the plants in, because it is really dry. Because look at here, the soil is really dry, even under the mulch here. So It's really crumbly. So it's time to water them all in. Hopefully my little planties will be happy. Nice and wet and drink up. Look at that. I love seeing strawberry plants in the morning because they have these beautiful little dewdrops they create here. It's so pretty. Look at that. Gorgeous. But yeah, so the garden's coming along really nicely. I'm really excited. Lots of fruits are coming along as well too. Flowers are setting here on the tomatoes. First fruits are really showing up through the orange rosalinis. The orange rosalinis are normally the first producers for me, honestly. These are the very first ones that started, obviously they're on the bottom, that started forming. And even the ones on top here are forming. See them up here as well. But all the other ones are kind of slow to produce. They're just starting to produce like that. The fruits are quite tiny still, which is fine. I mean, they're small. These are cherry tomatoes anyhow, you know. But they are looking great. These are the yellow pears. They're forming well as well. So I'm really excited to see that. These are the earlier ones, the early little trusses. The next ones would be, I think, this one right here. And then over here on top. So, but what I'm really excited for, you guys, is this one here. My very first large tomatoes. I haven't grown successfully any large tomatoes yet. I tried growing it last year. It's a dwarf bush one and nothing grew for me. So this year I planted from seed a bunch of larger tomatoes, or that's supposed to get larger anyhow, not because I have so far in the past I've only grown all these little cherry sized tomatoes just for like fun snacking and stuff. But I have not yet successfully grown large tomatoes. So this is my very first large tomato. This is, I believe, a Dr. Witchy, a yellow tomato. And it's still very small for Dr. Witchy. Huge for all the other cherry tomatoes that I have here. This is the comparison of my fingers, my hands, my fist to that tomato. My gosh, this is so exciting. But that's the only one so far. The rest are really filled up with flowers. And I'm really hoping to see more fruits show up. But yeah, all the big tomatoes are finally starting to put on flowers and fruits, and that's exciting for me because I have not yet successfully grown any large tomatoes, slicers or stuff like that. So I'm hoping to see what I can get. And I really want to try out this tomato mayo sandwich from the south, like a southern little flavor, I guess. That's supposed to be really good. Never had it because I'm from the north. Never heard of it. But all these gardening people that are from the south, they say it's the absolute best to have a fresh tomato with mayo, a touch of salt and pepper, no meats or anything else, just that, you know, and bread. And you're good to go. It's delicious, right? So I can't wait to try that and see how delicious this sandwich is. But I have to wait for my tomatoes to grow. So, but anyhow. But anyways, this is how everything's coming along. They're all growing very nicely. And I'm really excited. This side was the side that had a bunch of bunny or squirrel damages or whatever that killed off a lot of my sunflowers. So I will have to come in here and replant some more seeds for my garden, because they're gonna eventually, I'm gonna probably have to harvest them. If I'm gonna harvest for flower, probably at the end of this month, which is July, I'm gonna have to harvest them. And then if I'm keeping them for seeds to snack on and eat on, I think maybe the end of next month I'll be harvesting them. But anyhow, if I start planting some seeds this month, hopefully they'll make it through to the end of the growing season, which is October. I'll have some stuff to harvest at the end of October for sunflowers. At least I think, I don't know, I've never really grown them before, so I did buy some new seeds, some new sunflower seeds, so maybe I'll try that out and see how that comes along, how it looks. But anyhow, these guys are looking beautiful. They're looking nice and tall. They're at least hip high on me right now, and they're looking beautiful. My front entrance here, that in my vision, I saw these guys being filled out by my marigolds. I mean, my morning glories, but I didn't know. The morning glories are not taking it like I thought it would. They're kind of short and small, right? So I'm not sure exactly what's going wrong here. I had a vision that's gonna just start filling up and it's just gonna be glorious and cover everything and just gonna be filled with flowers, but I don't know, it's not coming to happen exactly how I thought this one would. The flower entrance would come out to be. But at least the flower entrance here. I'll have to figure out what else to do here, because these guys here, the ones that are flowering or growing, those are nasturtiums, and they are not the climbing type. They're like little bush types that just dangles over the sides just to decorate the front entrance area, right? And so I'm not sure what I'm going to do here, but you know, for now I got other things to deal with, which is like in my garden here now, the main garden that is in full production mode. It's really growing. Everything is growing very well, and I'm really excited. So lots of cilantro, lots of herbs. I have some okras growing, especially in the side of the bed. The okras are looking really nice. This is the smallest one, and these guys are growing up, so I hope that they will do well. I did trim back some of my cabbages that were assaulting the poor okras, pushing them over and blocking them from getting any sunlight. So I did take care of that, and now they're getting some sun, so that's good. I'm hoping that they will do well here. I'll finally get to taste some fresh okra from the garden. Never had that before. The corns are ginormous. Look at that, they're huge. These are at least 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 3 feet tall now. So these guys are huge. You know, the saying knee high by the 4th of July. 4th of July is in a couple of days. These guys are definitely past knee high at this point. But I'm not complaining. I love it. They're growing so beautifully, so healthy. These are the Astronomy Domain Sweets. So I can't wait to try these guys once they start growing up with some beautiful fruits. Now the second batch here, down here, these are definitely knee high. So this is the second batch to be harvested later on in the growing season. Over here I have my kabocha plants, and they are growing nicely. I put so far these produce baggies on my plants to I guess my attempt to protect them, like I did with the strawberries here, and these little baggies here. I'm doing the same thing with these for the larger plants. Just kind of protecting them, because this one's actually set up a little bit higher than the other one that I found that's maturing a lot faster, because it's quite up high, so I don't want it to accidentally drop and break itself, you know, snap off or whatever. So if it falls off, at least I'll catch it in the bag, so it'll have some kind of a safety net, you know. I'm seeing a bunch of little potential fruits here, this guy here, and then this one up here as well. They're all kind of scattered, and then lots of male flowers, which are the ones that are like these guys here that don't have a bulb in there on the end here. So you see there, they don't have a bulb. It's just the flower stem. So that's a male flower, and I have tons of male flowers, which that's what normally happens on plants. They grow more male flowers for pollinating, and then the female flowers are kind of scattered amongst the crowds here. So I guess these ladies gets the choice of picks, huh? So here's another female flower and another one, and these are all potential fruits here and there. These are all potential fruits, potential melons that I could be having in a couple of weeks, I think. Yeah, so the vine is definitely reaching up to the top. The peak will be probably right here, which I think it'll reach like in about a day or so. But yeah, you guys, this is so exciting for me to see my plants filling out these trellises like this. This makes me so happy. Even these beans over here, they are definitely climbing. Like the purple potted beans here, they've already, they're right there. I'm getting pretty close to reaching the top as well too. And they're planted later. But yeah, they are looking great. This is exciting for me. I just gotta make sure these guys aren't going onto the ground and killing out their neighbors. That's not good to kill your neighbors, especially since they're here to help. But yeah, so here we have some more flowers. Beautiful, aren't they? These are snapdragons. But yeah, everything's coming along very nicely, growing very nicely. Nothing huge for me to harvest. I think the only stuff I've really harvested were the strawberries, some herbs. I should probably check on these guys here. These are my radishes. I don't feel anything yet, so radishes are not growing or are not filling out yet, but at least I got lots of greens, huh? The cucumbers are looking nice. I haven't collected any yet either, but they're growing, so hopefully they got pollinated because there's a lot of fruits on here. We've got a bunch of varieties of cucumbers. Tons of beans on that side, on this side. Really? These birds are gonna fight this early in the morning. Soybeans are here. But yeah, everything's coming along nicely. Ooh, that one down there. Let me see if I can get to the other side. I believe this one might be ready to harvest. This is the kohlrabi. That guy looks about to be the size of a baseball. But yeah, those guys are gonna be yummy to eat as well too, and stir fry. But anywho, everything's coming along very nicely in the main beds. Now I have over here, this is the keyhole area, and the little items here in the front. These are these squashes that I planted a while back, direct sowed, and they were looking really good as well too. I mean, obviously they're not producing any fruits yet, they're still quite small, but they're out of the ground, so I'm really excited to see that. Getting this area here, a little space for them to really spread if they need it, and the area over there too, because I'm not sure how they're going to spread. I attempted to grow squashes a couple of years ago, and they didn't produce very well for me, and I think it's because I didn't give them enough space. So this time I'm giving them a good 6 feet and some odd, 3 or 4 feet wide space, so hopefully they'll do well. I don't know, we'll see. Experimentation. So I'm giving them this front area here for them to really grow and sprawl out on, and even this little walk area if they need it, but they're not supposed to sprawl. They're really like just bush types, so they're not vining types, so they're gonna go all over the place. They're just kind of spread out where they're at. So here are my Napa cabbages. Sadly, a couple of them have started bolting. Boo. This one right here. But I mean, I still have seeds for them too, so I can start another batch later on when the weather gets a little bit cooler. My barrage is growing. These are eggplants, my extra eggplants that they have been planted in because I didn't have any space for the other beds. And they're looking really nice. I mean, no fruits have been setting yet, but they're nice. They're growing nice and green, getting tall, setting flowers. So that's a good thing. These are my my sweet, 100 sweet cherry tomatoes. They're also very tall. Right now they're about, because they're planted in the ground, right? My feet's right here. And these guys are, I want to say hip high already. So they're growing pretty good for being in the ground. Some more dill here, cabbages. They're all kind of mixed in here. Collard greens, my spicy peppers. They're not growing huge yet, I guess. They're still quite tiny, but you know, peppers are gonna do what peppers are gonna do. So let's hope that they grow nicely for me. Because when I planted them in, they were kind of yellowing, maybe a little stunted, but now they're quite full and green. So I'm happy to see that. Here are the serranos, cilantro, and the Hungarian wax. So everything's coming along very nicely. I might have to figure out what I'm going to put in here. Maybe I'll save this space for fall planting. Yeah, I'll probably do that. More. Ooh, what's this? This is a weed. This is definitely not edible for my garden. You're not welcome there. These are my dills, more nasturtiums, and wonderful little edamame seeds. But yeah, so that's everything in the garden. Kind of just showing all this life that I have in here. I'm really excited that the flowers are finally coming up. This is the big squash that I planted earlier in the season. I don't know, something's going on here. I don't like how that looks. I'll probably have to chop these guys off. That looks like blight to me. Blight's not good for plant. That means they're gonna die. Hopefully not. But anyhow, the two squashes I have here. So everything's looking really good. I'm really excited. I'm really happy. This is making me really happy to be out here during the daytime when the garden's in, you know, full growth and everything's just growing. And I really can't wait to see the sunflowers to bloom. I can't wait for them to bloom because it's gonna look great, you guys. I'm excited for that. But for now, I'm really excited for the flowers. I'm really excited for the fruits from the melons and tomatoes. Those are gonna be wonderful little desserts. So anyhow, hopefully you guys enjoy this kind of tour that just kind of skimmed through everything and showed what I got so far growing and how they're all looking. They're all looking very alive, very well, very, makes me happy. My chicken herbs, my tomato plants. But yeah, these are all looking great, you guys. Hopefully you will all continue to cheer on my garden so that it'll grow and be as fruitful as it can be. Because gardening just makes me happy to just really be out here and have a space where I can just kind of meditate, zone out, and a little space of my own, just to chill in nature, safely in nature. All right, so anyhow, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this little tour of mine, and you guys will have a great and wonderful day. Stay hydrated, everyone. This week is going to be a hot one. All right, have a great morning, everyone. Bye.